This video tutorial is going to go through how you add a Pontic to a 3D scan file. So let's say you have a patient that's congenitally missing a lateral or a central, and you need to debond them and have them wait for the implant. Well, rather than making a Holly with a denture tooth, one option is to digitally wax up these teeth, 3D print the model, make an S6 from it, and either paint the missing tooth or add silicone-based wax or other materials to it. So I'm going to be doing the demonstration in a software called MeshMixer. It's a free software that's available for both Mac and the PC. There are obviously better commercial softwares that can save you a couple of minutes with the time, such as ULab or even Archform. But again, this software is free for all. So what we're going to do is we're going to locate the upper and lower 3D STL files, and we're going to drag it into MeshMixer. I usually like the opposing cast because you can look at overjet and see if there's early collisions. But for now, we're going to hide the lower cast while we add the teeth in. If your default doesn't show this command window, this object browser, in MeshMixer, it's going to be under the view file. So to add a Pontic, the first thing I want you to do is to place it flat to the occlusal view. And I'll explain a little bit more why this is important. You're going to go through MeshMixer, Christian Bren's Pontics, and scroll down. Locate the tooth, which is number 7, the upper right lateral, and you're going to want to put it a little bit off the ridge. Okay? When I put it off the ridge, I can move it into the ridge, and you'll see it's off in the frontal view, but then I can relocate it back down, turn back to the occlusal, put it there, rotate it a little bit. Okay? And that's not too difficult. But let's just delete that, go back and see what would happen if I actually put it over the ridge. So again, MeshMixer, Christian Bren's library. If I grab the tooth and put it right on the ridge itself, what you see is it's way off. You have no idea where that tooth is. It's a little quirk in the software. Okay? So we're going to cancel that. We're going to go back, MeshMixer, Christian Bren's Pontic library. Drag this over a little bit off the ridge. Rotate this. I forgot to mention, these arrow tools let you move. The triangle does bodily movements. Obviously, these let you rotate depending on the planes you're in. And then the square boxes let you change the size. So if I grab the square box and move to here, it would make wider. If it would make it wider mesiodistally. If I grab this blue box and pull it out, it'll make that tooth wider buccolingually. So I'm going to get this to where I want it. Look at the lower occlusion. Hide it again. And that's one of the quirks I don't like about this software. When you do that, my transformation tool window has disappeared. To get that back, it's under Edit, Transformation, and see how it forces you to go back and redo the work. So one of my advice to you is don't put it in the perfect position first. Get it close like this, even though the rotation is not perfect, okay? Click Accept. After you click Accept, you can open back the lower models and see how the overjet is. and then again, highlight that tooth now, edit, transform, and now you can rotate and adjust it as need be. Okay, and again, I'm just going to click accept. I'm going to add, let's get out of this, go back and look at the occlusal view, go to MeshMixer, add the upper right one. Get it close on the ridge, turn it to the frontal view, get it on there, turn it back to the occlusal view, bring it in and out, click accept. Let's look at the occlusion, and there's some things I don't like about it. I think it's hitting a little bit early, so we can tweak that. Right, to do that, we're going to go back in this window, highlight that tooth, click edit, transform, add a little bit more tip to it, accept. Let's hide the lower, and we're going to add the last tooth. Repeat, rinse. Now if you have access to ULab or the new version of Archform, that does this automatically for you. And all you have to do is kind of change the shape of the teeth and the size. Okay? I actually prefer the Christian Bren's shape and size of the teeth, but there's more work to manipulate and move it to the ridge. So this lateral probably could come out a little bit, edit, transform, okay, so now if I'm happy with how this model looks, the next step is the crucial step that most people forget, which is you actually have to combine these 4 separate files into one. To do that, you're going to highlight the files. In the Mac, you're going to want to hold Control, and the same thing in the PC. Command, sorry, in the Mac and Control in the PC. Highlight the upper arch and the 3 files, and then this window will open, and you want to click Combine. When you do that and it changes colors, it's now set as one file. So this is now the new occlusion STL file that has all of the teeth together. Then you're going to want to save this. So click Export. You can also go under MeshMixer and save it, but you want to click it as Export. You want to save it as an STL binary format. So now, if I just open this test file up, what you see is just one solid file that has my Pontics in place. So I hope this video is useful for you. Again, some of the commercial softwares can do this easier, but this is a free shareware that's available to